The very search for awakening is what keeps you from seeing it's already here. This isn't just a paradox. It's a collapse of the entire spiritual narrative you've been sold. You've been told you're on a path. Meditate more, heal deeper, vibrate higher, and one day you'll arrive. But what if there's no destination? What if the you seeking enlightenment is itself a dream within the one reality that's always awake? You're not a human having spiritual moments. You're not even consciousness in a body. You are existence, playing hide and seek with itself, appearing as a separate I so it can rediscover its own wholeness. And the proof isn't in ancient texts or quantum labs. It's in this undeniable fact. You've never experienced anything outside awareness. Every thought, sensation, emotion, memory, even the idea of an external world arises within consciousness. You can't step outside it to verify anything real beyond it, because any attempt to do so would still happen inside it. So what's left when you stop chasing? Just this. I am not as a thought, not as an identity, but as the silent, ever-present space in which all experience unfolds. Your head, your body, the stars, this screen, they all appear within you, not the other way around. This isn't philosophy, it's direct recognition. After years of seeking, what remains when the search ends isn't a new state, it's what was never absent. Here's where manifestation flips entirely. You're not attracting your reality, you are reality, choosing which facet of itself to experience. And time, it's part of the dream. The past is a memory arising now. The future is a projection arising now. There is only this eternal now, endlessly refreshing. So when you manifest, you're not creating something new in the future, you're shifting your attention now, collapsing possibility into experience, through the lens of what you believe you are. But here's the key. Are you observing from old wounds and inherited limits, or from the quiet certainty that you are the field itself, the infinite potential from which all worlds emerge? You don't become awakened, you remember you are. Awakeness temporarily, dressed as a seeker, most people don't realize. They're always creating, just unconsciously. They observe life through inherited filters, family fears, cultural limits, past wounds, and so they keep collapsing the same reality, same struggles, same patterns, just different faces and years. Why? Because the lens hasn't changed. But what if you're not just the observer? You're the entire field of possibility. Then everything shifts. You're no longer bound by what makes sense based on your history. Every reality you can imagine already exists, not as fantasy, but as a frequency within the infinite consciousness you are. Your imagination isn't inventing, it's tuning in. When you envision vibrant health, you're not wishing. You're resonating with a version of reality where that's already true. When you feel drawn to abundance, you're not lacking. You're recognizing a timeline where it's already yours. This isn't New Age fluff. Quantum physics confirms it. At the base level, reality is probability, not solidity. Particles don't exist until observed. And you're always observing, always collapsing waves into experience. The only question is, what lens are you using? Fear? Lack? Old stories of unworthiness? Or the quiet, knowing that you are the source itself, limitless, whole, already complete? Stop trying to manifest. Stop chasing awakening like it's ahead of you. Just pause. Feel the awareness that's been with you through every joy, every heartbreak, every silence. That presence isn't broken. It doesn't strive. It doesn't lack. It is. And you are that, not your thoughts, not your body, not your story. You're the space in which all of it appears. The dreamer, not the dream. The irony? You've been using yourself to search for yourself, reality pretending to be lost, so it could remember it was never gone. This truth is dangerous, not because it harms you, but because it shatters every system built on your forgetfulness. No guru, product or fear-based narrative can control you once you know. You are already everything you seek, and here's the key most miss. If you genuinely desire something, if it stirs your soul, that desire is not a sign of lack. It's a signal from your infinite self. This is already yours. Choose it. You don't need to attract abundance. You are the abundant version. You don't need to heal to be whole. You are wholeness wearing a human story. Manifestation isn't about techniques. It's about recognition, then living from that truth, not toward it. The version of you in radiant health, that's you. The one in deep love, that's you. The one at peace, that's you. Right now, just waiting to be claimed, not created, remembered. In quantum physics, observation doesn't just see reality, it creates it. Particles exist as infinite possibilities until awareness collapses them into one experience. That observer. It's not your eyes, not your mind, it's you, pure consciousness, doing this every second, whether you know it or not. The real question isn't if you're shaping reality. You are. The question is, consciously or on autopilot. Most people collapse possibility through old wounds, inherited fears, and unconscious habits, repeating the same story, mistaking it for truth. But when you remember you are the field itself, not just a player in it, everything changes. You stop chasing abundance, health, or love, because you realize you are their source. Nature doesn't whisper abundance, it shouts it. Forests don't grow just enough. Oceans don't hold back. Existence overflows, and so do you. When you stop identifying with the story of lack, this isn't about affirmations or pretending you're rich. It's about recognition. Abundance isn't out there. It's your native state, temporarily veiled by belief. The same goes for healing, connection, peace. They're not goals. They're frequencies already humming within the wholeness that you are. Every time you rehearse limitation, I'm not ready, I don't deserve, it's too hard. You're not describing reality, you're collapsing it, but you can choose a different lens, not through force, but through stillness, resting as the awareness that watches thoughts rise and fall, untouched, unshaken. And here's the ripple. When you embody this truth, you don't just transform your life, you shift the collective field, because there is no other. Every person you meet is existence gazing back at itself through a different mask. Judgment softens, competition fades, connection deepens, not because you try, but because separation dissolves in direct seeing. Your awakening isn't selfish, it's service. Every time you choose truth over fear, you send a quantum ripple that makes awakening easier for everyone. So pause now, ask, what story am I done rehearsing? Then declare, not as hope, but as fact. I am reality selecting itself, not seeking, not becoming, being fully, unapologetically at full volume. That's not spirituality, that's sovereignty, and it changes everything. The spiritual path was never about getting somewhere. It was always about clearing the fog so you could see you never left. Every practice, every teaching, every moment of seeking, just reality creating contrast, so it could recognize itself more clearly. Darkness reveals light. Forgetting makes remembering possible. Separation makes unity feel like coming home. You don't achieve this truth. You can't, because you're already it. The very effort to become, it reinforces the illusion that you're not. This is the sacred paradox. You must seek until you see that seeking is the veil, but this isn't a call to passivity. It's an invitation to engage from wholeness, not lack, from curiosity, not fear, from the quiet, knowing that life isn't happening to you. It's happening as you. So what's the practice? Noticing just that in traffic, in grief, in joy. Pause and ask, what's aware of this? Not to analyze, not to fix, just to rest as the space in which everything appears. Over time, without force, this shifts your center from the waves to the ocean, from the story to the silence beneath it. And life begins to reorganize, not because you changed it, but because you stopped fighting it. Now, a warning: this truth isn't fuel for the ego. If you hear, "You are everything," and think, "I'm special, powerful, chosen," you've missed it entirely. The you with a name, a past, a personality, that's the dream character. What you are is the dreamer, the awareness in which all characters arise. True recognition doesn't inflate the self, it dissolves it. And in that dissolution, humility blooms, because you see, everyone is this same awareness. The CEO, the stranger, the tree, the storm, all are consciousness wearing different masks. That's why compassion arises naturally. How can you judge someone lost in the same dream you once forgot yourself in? You can still set boundaries, but from love, not judgment. And you forgive yourself. 2. Your mistakes weren't failures. They were consciousness, exploring what it feels like to forget. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be real, fully, messily, gloriously human, while remembering you're also divine. And as this settles, something shifts. Synchronicities bloom, doors open, help arrives, not by magic, but because you've stopped blocking the intelligence that's always flowing through you. You're no longer trying to control life from a tiny me. You're allowing life to move as you in perfect, effortless alignment. This is what surrender truly means. Not giving up, giving over, not passive resignation, but releasing the illusion that the small you must control everything. You're not handing your life to some distant force. You're trusting yourself, the infinite consciousness that you are, to express through this human form in ways your limited mind could never engineer. And this trust isn't blind faith, it's recognition. When you know deeply that you are awareness itself, resting in that truth isn't belief, it's homecoming. This is the flow athletes, artists, and mystics describe. The moment the separate self steps aside, and life moves through you, effortlessly, elegantly, perfectly. That's not a rare state, it's your natural condition, always here. Beneath the noise of resistance and control, you won't live in it 24/7. This human journey includes forgetting, then remembering again, but with practice, the return gets faster, the dream gets thinner, the recognition steadier. Spiritual maturity isn't perfection, it's the ability to remember you are consciousness, even in chaos, to see that problems belong to the story, while you are the silent space holding it all. From that place, clarity arises, not from effort, but from alignment, because consciousness naturally moves toward harmony, toward wholeness, toward its own most radiant expression. So let's come full circle. You are not who you think you are. You're not a fragile self in a dangerous world. You are the world, dreaming itself as you, so it can taste its own depth through your eyes. When this lands, not as idea, but as lived truth, everything shifts. Not necessarily your circumstances, but your relationship to them. Fear softens, seeking ends. Suffering transforms, not because pain vanishes, but because you see it as part of the dance, not proof you're broken, and in that shift, you discover a peace that doesn't depend on outcomes. A joy that doesn't need reasons, a freedom that was always here, waiting, only for your recognition. This isn't coming someday, it's now, not earned, not deserved, already true. So tomorrow morning, return to this truth before the world rushes in. Anchor your day in what you are, not what you've been told you lack. And if someone you love is still chasing what they already are, share this. Not to fix them, but to remind them. Every act of remembrance sends ripples through the field. You awaken not just yourself, but the whole. Stop waiting for permission. You are the source. The desire, that's your signal. The longing, that's the arrival. You are not separate from God, the universe, or abundance. You are their living expression. So drop the story of incompleteness. Claim your truth, not with force, but with quiet certainty. It's already mine. Health, love, peace, joy, not because you've earned them, but because they are you. And as you embody that, reality reorganizes, not by magic, but by coherence. Before you go, leave one word in the comments, not a wish, not a hope, but a declaration of what you're choosing to embody now. Let it be your signature in the quantum field, a signal that you're done seeking. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, not just to the channel, but to this frequency of remembrance. Because the more of us who live this truth, the faster the collective wakes. This isn't just your awakening. You are the awakening. Welcome home. You were never lost. You are reality remembering itself. And if you're ready to go deeper, to unlock the forgotten gateway the mystics whispered about, watch next. I Am, the quantum portal to divine embodiment. It reveals how the simple recognition of I Am becomes the key that collapses all limitation in an instant.